Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the incredible story behind one of the most visited holy places on the planet, the Tirumala Venkateswara Temple. It's a story packed with love, sacrifice, and a celestial loan that, believe it or not, is still being paid back today. So let's just jump right in, because this is the central mystery, right? How can a deity who receives millions in offerings every single day be in debt? It sounds like a total paradox. To get why, we have to go way back to the very beginning, to a single test that literally changed the cosmos forever. You know, our story doesn't even start with a god. It starts with a question. A group of great sages are performing a sacred ritual, and they have this huge debate. Who among the Trimurti, that's the big three, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer, who is truly the greatest? So, to settle it, they pick one guy for the job, Sage Bhrigu. Now, Bhrigu was deeply respected, but he was also known for having a famously short fuse. And his mission was to go and test each of the three great gods to find the answer. So, Bhrigu sets off. First stop, Brahma's place. He gets there and nothing. Brahma's so caught up in his own chanting, he doesn't even notice him. Bhrigu sees this as pure ego. Next, he goes to Shiva's domain, but Shiva is having a private moment with his wife, Parvati, and gets furious at being interrupted. Bhrigu sees this as anger. Finally, he gets to Vaikuntha, Vishnu's home, and finds him just sleeping. At this point, feeling ignored for the third time, Bhrigu's patience just completely snaps. He does the absolute unthinkable. He walks up to the sleeping god and kicks him right on the chest. And this isn't just any spot. It's the sacred place where the goddess Lakshmi is said to reside. But Vishnu's reaction? It's just completely unexpected. He doesn't get angry. He wakes up and immediately starts apologizing to Bhrigu for not seeing him. He then starts pressing the sage's feet, saying he must have hurt his foot by kicking him. In that moment, he gently crushes the eye of ego in Bhrigu's foot. For Bhrigu, the test was over. Vishnu was supreme. But while one problem was solved, a much, much bigger one had just started. Goddess Lakshmi was deeply insulted. Her sacred home, Vishnu's chest, had been violated, and her husband hadn't defended her honor. So she declared that she could no longer stay in Vaikuntha, and she left, descending to earth to perform intense penance. Vishnu was absolutely heartbroken. I mean, a world without Lakshmi was just incomplete. So he followed her. He gave up his divine form, came down to earth as a mortal man, and began a deep, lonely meditation inside an anthill on the Tirumala hills, just waiting and hoping for her return. Now, seeing their friend in this state, Brahma and Shiva knew they had to do something, so they hatched a plan to help him out. They disguised themselves as a cow and a calf, and through a chain of events, they end up being sold to the local king. Every day, this divine cow would sneak away to the anthill and feed the meditating vision with her milk. But of course, a secret like that can't last forever. Pretty soon, the king's cowherd knows something was up. This one cow wasn't giving any milk back at the palace. So he followed her one day, and he sees her pouring all of her milk over this random anthill. He absolutely loses it. He raises his axe to strike the cow, but in that split second, Vishnu emerges from the anthill and takes the full force of the blow right to his head. He's now known as Srinivas. So Srinivas, now injured and bleeding, turns to the cowherd and curses the Chola king, saying that a king is always responsible for what his people do. But, and this is a really key part of the story, he also gives him a way out. He says the curse will be broken on the day the king gives him a crown for his future wedding. Okay, so while all of this is happening with Srinivas, fate is working on a whole other plan. There was this childless king, Akasha Raja. One day, he's plowing a field for a ritual, and his plow hit something buried in the dirt, and out of the ground blooms this incredible 1,000-petaled lotus. And nestled inside, a baby girl. He names her Padmavati, and yes, she is none other than an incarnation of Lakshmi herself. So, years pass. A hunt for a wild elephant leads Srinivas right into a garden where Princess Padmavati is playing. The moment they see each other, it's instant recognition. It's cosmic love at first sight. Through a pretty clever disguise as a fortune teller and then a formal proposal, their marriage is set. Destiny is being fulfilled. But there was a huge problem, a really practical one. Padmavati was a princess, used to immense luxury. Srinivasa, on the other hand, was basically a poor hermit living in the hills. He had nothing. How on earth was he going to pay for a royal wedding? This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Srinivasa goes to Kubera, who is basically the treasurer of the heavens, and he takes out a loan. And we're not talking a small amount here. He borrows 11.4 million gold coins to fund this grand wedding. And the agreement he signs is just wild. It's a divine promissory note. He vows that he will stay on Earth for the entire current age, the Kali Yuga, and that the interest on this massive loan will be paid back by the offerings and donations from his followers for thousands and thousands of years.
So, the wedding happens, it's absolutely magnificent, a true celestial event. Srinivasa and Padmavati are living happily together on the Tirumala hills. But, remember the original Lakshmi, the one who was off doing penance? Well, she hears about this marriage, and she comes to confront them both.
This is the climax of the entire story. He's literally caught between his two great loves, Lakshmi and Padmavati, and he knows the kind of suffering and chaos that's coming for humanity in this new dark age. So what does he do? What does he say? He says nothing. He makes a profound, silent choice. Instead of choosing, he transforms himself into a stone idol, a Shila. He decides to stay on Earth forever, a solid, unchanging presence, so that any devotee, at any time, could come and seek his blessings. He chose to be there for everyone. And seeing this incredible sacrifice, well, their anger just melts away into sorrow. They realize they can't leave him, so they too merge with his stone form. Lakshmi takes her original place on the left side of his chest, as Sridevi, and Padmavati rests on the right, as Bhudevi. The divine family finally reunited, never to be separated again. What's so amazing is that this isn't just a story you read in a book. Every single part of this epic is lived out in the temple's rituals today. The reason devotees visit another shrine first, the reason they drop offerings into the donation pot, or hundi, even the markings on the idol itself, it all connects millions of pilgrims directly to this ancient divine drama. Which leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. The story of the loan created a reason for the god to stay on Earth and accept offerings. But it's the unending faith of millions of people who willingly come and give what they can to help repay this cosmic debt that truly fulfills the promise. It's a promise made by a god, but it's being kept by humanity.